Hello, dear friends. It's Friday, 12th September 2025. My name is Clive Thompson. It's the afternoon, so Wall Street is now open, and I'm here to tell you what's going on the stock market, both yesterday and today. So this week, I think, will be remembered as an amazing week. It's a week when stocks just pushed higher every day, record after record after record. The performance of the stock market has been nothing short of stellar. Yesterday, we saw the Dow Jones Index rise 617 points, or 1.36% in a single session, to 46,108, an all-time record. And you hear me say this a lot in the last few weeks. S&P 500 was up 0.85%, and the Nasdaq index was 0.7% higher at 22,038. So markets are pushing higher, stock markets are going higher, the gold market is hitting all-time records, silver is hitting the highest in 15 years, house prices are at the highest ever, retail prices are at the highest ever. The only thing which is not at the highest price is the value of your cash, which is constantly going down. It buys less and less. Now, we're going to look at, first of all, have a look at the stock market. So what have been the stories in the last few days which might have been of interest? I think, first of all, we'll look at the story of Oracle, who have basically said that they are making much higher profits than the market. Well, they didn't say. They announced much higher profits than the market was expecting. So let's go to Oracle here. Stocks. So I brought up the chart of Oracle here. You can see it leapt from 240, 230 to 340 in a single day. There we are. That's the rise there on the chart with where my mouse is going. And it's coming off today a little bit. It's down 3.45%, but that's nothing compared with the 30-something% rise it had. Another stock which is a little bit in the news is Paramount Skydance. They had this huge leap yesterday from 1450 to 1750. That looks like about 30-something% yield, and it's up again today. It's now 1837. And the reason for that is that they're talking about buying Warner Brothers. This is Paramount Skydance buying Warner Brothers. I don't know why that's good, but obviously that's the way the investors are seeing it. Tesla's doing well today. As you can see, here's a big leap in Tesla. It's very overvalued, in my opinion. It's trading at about 140 times the 2026 earnings, which is the highest price earnings ratio amongst the Magnificent Seven. But it could keep going higher if they get this artificial intelligence thing together and all their robotics. They've got these robots that they're building, which are going to be out there in the marketplace probably from next year. So who knows how high it could go. I'm not an investor in Tesla, but many people believe it's going to the moon. On the other hand, it's very overvalued in my opinion. Let's look at gold. Gold is doing wonders as well. So we'll go have a look at gold here. So gold, 30 at the moment, 3,651, give or take, with the peak a few days ago at 36, 66, 67, maybe 75 in intraday. So gold has been going up all year. As you can see, if I click on the 1 year chart here, well, that's 1 year. A year ago, the price was around 2,500. Now it's over 3,500. Silver doing very well as well. Oh my goodness me, look at that. It's over $42 today. It seems like just a few days ago it was below 40. Let's look at the 1 month chart here. Yes, it was below 40 on the the end of the month, on the 29th of August, 30th of August. It just passed on the 1st of September, past the $40 mark. Then a couple of days ago, it passed the $41 mark, and now it's past the $42 mark. So silver is benefiting from two things. One is the probable decision, which has got to be confirmed on the 25th of September by the US government to include silver as a strategic mineral, meaning that they'll probably be building a strategic stockpile of silver. Last time they had a strategic stockpile of silver, it was 2.1 billion ounces. Currently it's 0. So 2.1 billion ounces would be about 2.5 or nearly 3 years mined supply, except they can't have that because all the mine supply is spoken for, and some, by the industrial production. So that's a positive for the silver, the possible building of a strategic stockpile. But the other positive is the fact that since about 3 years, the mine supply has not been enough to meet the industrial demand, which includes 200 million ounces of investment demand. And 200 million ounces, by the way, that's equivalent to 1 ounce. If you take 9 billion people on the planet, that's equivalent to 1 ounce for every 45 people. It's not a lot. So if only one person in 45 buys a single 1 ounce coin, that will take up the whole 200 million ounces, which they reckon is going to go into investment. But what if it's 2 people out of 45? Or what if one of those people buy 10 ounces or 100 ounces or 500 ounces? That's a monster box. They're getting more than their fair share, I would say. So it might turn out that the investment demand, which is predicted, is too conservative. We shall see. I know when I talk to my friends, very few of them have got any interest in silver, but I would say 1 in 45 perhaps do. And certainly when I look at my inbox, it's more like 100%. But of course, that's because we talk about silver and gold quite often on Mario's show. So that kind of boosts the interest of people who are writing to me on LinkedIn and so forth. So what else is going on in the world? Let's just have a look at the world stock markets and see how they're doing. So we'll go to the stock markets here, indices. Let's start with the US indices. So today, the Dow Jones just coming off its peak, a tiny fraction down, 0.1%, but you can see how much it's been rising recently. Let me just adjust that to fit that better. There you are. That's let's go back to the start of the year to date. So Dow Jones is up since the start of the year. We can look at the S&P 500. That's also been climbing. It looks like these indices have been mostly climbing since April, May, when they had that big dip back in April, May after the tariffs. And we can have a look at the Nasdaq. Again, continuing to climb nicely. Going around the world, in Europe, France is up and down, nothing like the Dow Jones, so up and down. It's not at its peak, down 0.13% today. The German DAX index is doing better than France, but virtually unchanged today. And we go to the UK, FTSE 100. Well, that's doing very well. Of course, the pound has been weak, but we can see the FTSE 100 continues to climb. It's as near as makes no difference. The all-time high of possibly, when was that? The all-time high was about the 22nd of August, and it was just slightly higher than it is today, 9349. Today it's 9319. Out in Asia, we see the Hang Seng index climbing. If we look at it a bit longer term, you can see that when China turned down, the index went down from about 30,000 down, and bottomed out, I would say, early 24. And since then it's been climbing on hopes of recovery in China. So it's climbed back from about 15,000 level to 26,000, but still below the 30,000 level it was in 2021. The Japanese index, the Nikkei, well, that seems to be just straight up, 44,648. Let's have a look at it all time. It just goes straight up, doesn't it? Obviously, the Japanese yen has been weak against the dollar, and interest rates in Japan are still very low, even though they've been rising recently. The VIX index, which measures volatility, you can see that's at a very low level, So when the VIX is low, it signals complacency and signals that the investors are not really expecting any big stock market moves. Otherwise, that's about all we've got to say for today. Oh yes, let's look at the futures and see how they're doing. First we'll look at the market today. You see, it wasn't as green as yesterday. Yesterday was very green, but we've got Microsoft up 1.3%, and this morning Tesla's up nearly over 4.5%, nearly 5%. Tesla just keeps climbing higher and higher and higher for some reason, which I find hard to understand. And looking at the futures here, we can see that we've got the mainstream indices. Dow is down 87 points, S&P slightly down, Nasdaq up 31. That's the top three items here. And then we've got gold climbing sharply, silver going up. The silver futures is now 42.76. Platinum's above 1400 on the futures, and copper is not doing so well. I don't know what that big drop was back in August. Palladium is heading higher, and then let's look at the dollar index. You can see the dollar index it's steady since July, but since the start of the year it's fallen quite heavily. So that's about it, ladies and gentlemen. So we can see we're having a strong day globally in gold, stock markets, and I'll be with you perhaps tomorrow over the weekend to give you a more detailed summary of what went on in the week. If you like this, don't forget to subscribe and like if you like it. Thanks very much, everybody, and goodbye for now.